The harem anime genre is one of the most popular anime genres out there, especially amongst the male youngsters. A large number of girls chasing you and wanting to be with you. This thought really makes the imagination go wild, wouldn't you say? But there are lots of animes out there with these genres, and some of them are good and some of them are not as good. So today I decided to make a top 10 list of anime with the best harem and good plot anime that you can watch and enjoy. So before we start, be sure to hit the subscribe button and press that bell icon, as it is all to be notified about all our latest new videos. And coming in at number 10 is Bluer Than Indigo. The story itself isn't out of the ordinary. Boy meets girl, falls in love, and another 4 girls do the same. However, it is good the way the story develops around the 2 main characters. The male lead isn't an asshole nor an idiot, and that makes him a likable character. The female lead is interesting. She doesn't know anything else besides her love for the male lead, and it's kinda interesting to see how the story develops around her. And there is no tragedy to make the plot a little more complicated, except the facts concerning the past of the main male character, which I won't spoil for you at all. So all you can expect is love in every episode. Not to mention the motivation of each character is explained, and you get to identify with the situation of a few characters. However, there are some that only do what they do because it's what they want, and that leaves you with the feeling of emptiness. Although it is an older anime, it is still gold to this day. I would recommend this anime if you want a light story of love. Coming in at number 9 is A Couple of Cocaos. A boy and a girl were given to the wrong families only to find themselves getting married to one another because of their parents. The story focuses on the boy, Nagai Umino, and the girl, Erika Amano. However, I find the world surrounding the two a lot more entertaining than the characters themselves. The Uminos especially are an entertaining bunch. Despite their little screen time, unfortunately, the same can't be said about their son and biological daughter. Despite being the main focus of the first 3 main episodes, and likely the whole season, the two will most likely get on your nerves. Ever wanted to see a tsundere TikTok star and a studious, no-nonsense individual interact? It doesn't make for the most fun to watch, really, but it's still interesting. By the way, the art is definitely a top mark for the show, giving off fluid movements charismatically showing each character's personality and impression. I am really interested to see Nagai's relationship with Erika after they realize that they are in fact related to each other. And personally, I like Nagai. Whenever I'm laughing at this anime, it's usually because of him. He also feels like a relatable character. For example, you are someone who has a sister, therefore it's nice to see a realistic brother and sister relationship. But I don't know if or when that relationship will change into love. It's anime after all. Anything can happen. Coming in number 8 is Rent a Girlfriend. Look, I like a lot of stuff that most people would consider trash. On its own, the concept of renting a girlfriend due to not being able to get one on your own is actually kind of a cool idea for an anime. The idea of the show is not the issue, it's the execution. You have Kazuya, a 20-year-old degenerate who is not only a loser by real-life standards, he's just a real-life loser. I mean, at least most harem protags are pretty cool and people you could imagine yourself hanging out with, right? This guy? I wouldn't go near him with a 10-foot pole. He's the most deplorable, scummy, and downright trash main character I have seen in a long time. Imagine living in your neighborhood, and all of a sudden, there's a hot girl living right next door to you. What's the first thing you'd say to her? For Kazuya, his first conversation with Chizuru doesn't exactly go his way. He's far from an alpha male, and his social experience is far from his set of skills. In fact, his girlfriend Mami even dumped him from the very first episode. Not more than 10 minutes into the show, Kazuya is single again, and he got so desperate that he decided to rent a girlfriend. Talk about being pathetic. Although it is a slightly unique storyline, obviously not the first time we've seen this though, throwing in more and more girls just becoming a big mess, basically becoming a harem show, and it seems like all the girls fall in love with the main character. When or if you decide to watch this, it's a pretty different plot from a bunch of other rom-coms or harem anime that I have seen, which is what makes me keep watching it and praying that the main character somehow shapes up. Coming in at number 7 is Outbreak Company. This is one of the many good anime that go unnoticed, unfortunately. It focuses on an otaku named Shinichi that is sent to another world by the Japanese government to promote Japanese, mainly otaku, culture. It is an interesting premise that has unforgettable characters, and this anime is a clash of modern-day Japan with a fantasy land that has knights, dragons, a lolly ruler, elves, dwarves, and dragons. The whole plot is just simply amazing. It represents every otaku ever, even from BL fans and the questionable lolly fans alike. Not much to say here since I don't want to spoil anything. Oh, and if you like ecchi, happens every so often, harem, fantasy stories, taken to another world stories, bits of romance, lots of comedy, the occasional fourth wall break, and otaku culture in general, you'll most likely love this anime. Coming in at number 6 is Amagami SS Plus. This is the second season to the show Amagami SS, and I will try to cater to any viewer, whether you watched the first season or not, therefore there are no spoilers. So basically the story, which runs in omnibus format, is about a guy named Junichi, who technically dates 6 or 7 girls leading up to Christmas Eve. However, the story itself runs in the best way I can describe it, as if it has parallel universes. So no, he is not dating multiple girls at the same time, technically. Specifically, the story, which is divided into 4 episode arcs per girl, highlights the different stories that come with Junichi's relationships with each of the 6 girls to hopefully get the Christmas Eve date he was not able to get beforehand. To specify even more, after each arc ends, time resets to a time prior to the days leading up to Christmas Eve, and another girl gets to be with him. Saying all that, Amagami SS Plus season/show is run in the same format as the previous, but in a 12-episode format, 2 episode arcs for each of the 6 girls. The story, while not necessarily kicking off right where each arc is in the first ended, adds on to those stories. That said, because of the unique nature of the show and because it is a direct sequel, going through the first season is a must to watch SS Plus. Coming in at number 5 is Yamada-kun and the 7 Witches. The story is about Yamada, who while going up the stairs switched bodies with a girl. After returning to his body and learning about witches, students at his school with special powers, he sets out to find the other witches who all have different abilities which activate with a kiss. The story was pretty interesting and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The premise is very eye-catching, and I mean a guy switching bodies with a kiss. I mean, you haven't seen that one in a while. I typically don't enjoy gender-bender anime all that much, but this one I did because it wasn't just about switching bodies. I felt the story at points felt rushed, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely worth the watch. Coming in at number 4 is The Fruit of Gereza, the series. The Fruit of Gereza might seem like an ordinary harem anime with the typical casting of dynamic girls and a quiet boy, but it adds more stakes by featuring some deep-seated psychological issues. It begins when transfer student Yuji enters a new school. Initially, he was excited to begin a new life, but was soon disappointed on his first day. He quickly finds out that the school is devoid of its student population, save for him, the principal, and 5 other girls. The outlandish scenario did have a mystery and quirk that Yuji eventually unearths by socializing with the girls and finding out their hidden trauma. Sometimes you've run out of anime to watch or are just bored and come across something that sounds so dumb, but you say, what the heck? And by the time you realize it, it's already several hours past your bedtime, saying you only watch one more episode, but by the time you're done, you've watched them all. This is just the anime that does exactly that. Coming in at number 3 is the Quintessential Quintuplets. The plot is relatively easy to follow. A guy, Futaro, nerdy, poor, solitary, gets a job as a tutor of a group of quintuplets who are near to fail the school. This group of girls, Ichika, Nino, Miku, Yotsuba, and Itsuki, named in the order as they came into the world, hate to study, and even more dislike the tutor. After some time, these girls eventually begin showing affection towards the tutor, and their surroundings as well starting to change. The only problem, this kind of plot could be seen absurdness and filled with excessive banality, boring a selected group of anime followers. But that hardly matters. These characters are just so funny and genuine. In the beginning, you can feel the show as the classical generic harem where the guy likes and loves all the girls. However, in this series, the guy only cares to study and does not see the quintuplets as friends or even more a candidate to have a relationship with. The quintuplets have a different personality, forcing Futaro to take different decisions to deal with each of them. The contrast creates a refreshing chemistry between the cast and keeps the whole crazy story spinning. This show is never boring. As a positive point, I am glad the adaptation followed the manga, and they do not change anything of the plot. So I am super excited to see the ending of this anime in the future. Coming in at number 2 is Saikano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. This is an anime where the protagonist is an otaku who wants to fulfill his dream of creating a gal game. After meeting his beautiful heroine in a captivating scene in which his hat flies downhill, stopping near a protagonist who is shocked to see a girl with such beauty. To follow his dream of creating a game, he forms your harem. Your team, with qualified people in various areas which are needed to create a game, but with unique personalities, which consequently develops a bit of humor on the series thanks to this factor, and then from there, the story begins to unfold. The series itself, in general, is quite satisfactory and can please diverse audiences. It could possibly disappoint some people hoping for a serious romance, but you shouldn't expect that in an anime with a harem genre. Whoever likes a mild rom-com, Saikano is a very interesting show to watch because it has hours of comedy, drama, and pinches of fan service. It has a common storyline but is also enjoyable. It's great entertainment and fun guaranteed. And one more thing, after watching all the seasons, don't forget to watch the movie to know the outcome of this anime. And number 1 goes to The World God Only Knows. It has been a remarkable ride following the series for so long, and looking back at how The World God Only Knows has impacted the anime community, it's not far off to say that it changed the harem anime as we know it. It shows that you don't need to show girls in suggestive situations all the time to provoke entertainment or emotion into your harem. Sometimes all you need is genuine emotion and intelligent comedic writing to create a meaningful love story, or in this case, multiple love stories. The World God Only Knows puts a wacky twist on the otherwise standard harem anime. Our main character, Keima Katsuragi, is also to act as an exorcist or spiritual hunter. It all began when a deceptively cute demon girl tricks him into the job. For some reason, the most effective way for Keima to capture spirits is to also capture the hearts of girls, because convenience. That would have been easy, except Keima prefers dating sims and 2D girls to real ones. In fact, he's a self-proclaimed god of conquest where he can conquer any girl's heart in a dating simulator, albeit. Thus, his simulation skills are put to the test where he must woo to win back his freedom. What I would like to announce, this is not your regular average harem anime. It has a great plot and a great idea to it, actually, and it does make sense in the world it was created into. The way the main character has to wear consequences and plan out his actions is just entertaining, and it definitely made me sit down and watch. Alrighty everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video for today, and I hope you had just as much fun watching it as I had fun making it. Also, what is your favorite harem anime? Leave a comment down below, as I am always reading your comments. And also, if you'd like to support me, consider becoming a Patreon member. Link is in the description below. And also, don't forget to like, share, and definitely don't forget to subscribe. And as for now, I'll catch you later. See you in the next one.